Going to be honest, David, didn't want to do it. I was just like, I don't know these people.
Do you mind getting into that and tell me what that actually means?
Seeing where I was before and who I am becoming, that drive is like, I have a bigger goal.
It doesn't matter what you're selling, is the leads, right? And leads are the demand.
Absolutely not. That was never my dream.
I'm so passionate about mortgage protection. I'm so passionate about it that I just want to sell it so bad.
I deposit $30,000 in my account.
Because I mean, you didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I want to be an insurance agent.
I wanted to retire my husband, but that means that he will be with me every single day. So I had to use my mom.
Welcome to my show of ordinary people doing extraordinary things, where we hear from regular people who got tired of living their ordinary lives and were not afraid to make that jump.
You gotta be different. You can't be doing what everyone else is doing. You gotta create action. You gotta create momentum. So I'm looking for demand and I'm looking for mentorship because I wanted to know everything my mentor knew.
People who are just like you and me. Hey, David Price here with another episode of Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things. We're in Orlando, Florida. If you see something you like, please hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that little bell so you get a notification every time we make a new video. And put some stuff in the comments. If there's a video that you want to see or if you have some questions, put in the comments and I'll make sure to get back to you. I'm super excited today. We got Miss Rachel here all the way from Mississippi, absolutely killing it. Been on the top of the leaderboard for the last 2 months. Did $54,000 in issue production, all final expense, 100% on the phone for the month of August. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How did that feel?
It was amazing. It was a lot of work. I will say that. I think we had about 29, 30 days of working. I may have taken off 3 days total for that whole month. So, and those were 2 Saturdays, 1 Sunday.
2 Saturdays and 1 Sunday.
And 1 Sunday. So I was working every morning, every night. I even remember taking a transfer, a live transfer, or it wasn't really live, but a call at 2:00 in the morning asking someone, did you call in on our television commercial? Like I'm the agent that they assigned you to. So it was definitely amazing to feel that I could accomplish that. Coming back from where I was before 8 months ago. So 8 months ago, it was nothing like that. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I could ever produce that much.
And it wasn't, just 1 month, right? That, you had another very successful month last month, right?
Yes.
Was it over 40,000?
It was 47,000.
Close to 50, 47,000.
47,000. Once again, amazing month. Just trying to set my goal on the first of every month. Write my goal down, say what I want. I don't care how I'm going to accomplish it. I just know that it's going to be accomplished. And everything flows from there.
You're amazing. You're crushing it, right? But you have some like an engine in you, right? You keep going. You have a grind. Like, did you always have that?
I always had motivation. I always had a drive to myself. But I will say it usually dies about a month, maybe pushing it. Probably about 3 weeks. It's probably like a little. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but now seeing where I was before and who I am becoming, that drive is like, I have a bigger goal. This goal, I want to retire my mom in 1 year. So I know I have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I cannot, because I love my mom, who really just doesn't love their mom. I love my mother and I want her to just live free, not have a care in the world, especially when it comes to money. I don't want her to have any type of money issues. I wanted to take care of that for her. So I have to keep going.
That's awesome. I feel like once you start seeing this success, right? Instead of like you're working towards your goal, do you feel like your goal is like a magnet that's like pulling you towards it, that it makes it easier?
It makes it easier, especially when it's something meaningful. You know, if you asked me what my goal was 5 years ago, it would probably be just a house or a car. You know, that's it. I mean, that's not saying that's not meaningful, but do something a little bit deeper, you know? And so, like I said, my mom is my everything to me. And I wanted to retire my husband, but that means that he will be with me every single day. So I had to use my mom. Like, no, we'll just do my mom first. But knowing that I could do that for her, knowing that it's possible, yes, it's like a magnet. Like, it makes it a little easier. When I feel like character building days, as we call it, I'm like, you know what? I'm just doing it for my mom. She would do it for me over and over.
That's awesome. That's really cool. You keep saying, things are completely different than they were 8 months ago. Do you want to go into that? What you mean by that?
Yeah, so I was with another company. I started last month, not last year, last September. I started with this company, and I had very high hopes that I was going to be successful because I initially started bartending. You know, this was my entire life just about bartending. And then I went to the beach to bartend to make even more money. You know, this was fast, everyday money. And so when I decided to quit that job and move on to insurance, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to make like a ton of money. And it didn't happen. Like, it did not happen at all. My drive was, I won't say it was down because I kept working. It just felt like I just kept working and moving in the same spot, you know? And so it was really hard. It was really hard to.
So what was the first company you worked with?
I worked with Lincoln.
Lincoln Heritage. So how did you find them? How did they find you? Because I mean, you didn't wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to be an insurance agent."
Absolutely not. That was never my dream.
So how does that happen? How do you go from not wanting to be an insurance agent to absolutely love being an insurance
My
agent?
sister, she was an insurance agent for Lincoln, and that's all she talked about. Like, I used to hate coming to my mother's house on Sundays when she was there because that's all she talked about was insurance. And so finally, it's so funny because we're in Orlando right now. But it was last year. We went to Orlando, and she showed me what her check was for like within 2 or 3 months, and I'm like, "This is what you're making? Okay, I know I'm better than you, and I like people way more than you right now, so I'm gonna double that. Like, this is easy." And about 2 weeks later, I quit my job. And I was like, I'm ready. And oh yeah, it was not that easy. It was not that easy. But I did learn a lot from Lincoln. We did have a good mentorship for sure. It was great. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was, as far as me learning about myself, it was definitely great. But I knew that I was destined to make $100,000 in a year. I just knew it wasn't with Lincoln. You know, it was no hard feelings or anything like that. And I didn't know where I was going to go. You know, it's not about the how-tos or the wins. It's just the end in mind. And I think this was back in February that I knew that I was going to make $100,000, just not with Lincoln.
So you talk about, a lot has changed from where you are now to where you were 8 months ago. Do you mind getting into that and tell me what that actually means?
Well, 8 months ago, I was with Lincoln Heritage. Someone, told me about this opportunity, and I saw how much they were making, and I felt like I could make that. So I quit my job and I started working from Lincoln. And Lincoln, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the mentors and the videos, the Zoom calls. I learned a lot from them, but I knew this is not where I was going to strive, succeed. I wasn't making the money. I was selling policies, but I wasn't making any money. And I'm like, no, you're not making any money. You're selling policies. You're like, might as well not even sell policies, But like I said, someone introduced me again to another opportunity with Senior Life. And I'm going to be honest, David, didn't want to do it. I was just like, I don't know these people. I don't know anything about them. But I did anyway. Eventually I moved over and went with Senior Life, and it changed my life. Like, it really did. The people, how diverse it is. It's not like, even though everyone has different agencies, but we all come together as a team. It's like the melting pot. It's like America, and just coming together, working together. I mean, the tools of learning I think I probably looked at the video before I made my first call, maybe 2 or 3 times. And then I finally picked up the phone and I did a live transfer and talked to someone and closed that sale. And I was like, this is easy, because, at Lincoln, I would probably sell maybe 1 policy. My goal was to sell a policy for each day for 7 days. So 7 policies a week. And that was very hard to do. Okay. Now with Senior Life, on average, I think it's about 3 policies a day.
Policies a day.
When I say, I would say about 15 policies at least a week.
So twice as much.
Twice as much.
Twice as much. So what do you think the biggest difference is from when you were with Lincoln to Senior Life? And, obviously, Lincoln's a good company, right? Definitely,
Right.
I got nothing bad to say about them. And I know you never spoke bad about them before, but what changed from, besides the company, right? What changed from 8 months ago to now that your production is double, triple what it used to be?
No, I think it's quadruple.
Quadruple. So obviously the money's pays better.
Yes.
Right. So what are some of the things that you think made the difference for you?
The first thing is leads. I think that's a lot of, agents' issues, the leads. With Senior Life, there's so many different choices of leads you can choose from. You can do mail-in leads, you can do Facebook leads, you can do online recruits leads, television leads, live transfer, like someone is literally on the phone waiting to speak to you. Like, it's endless. And it's not like you have to wait a couple of days or weeks. You can always have leads. That was different. I think that was the biggest thing for me. It's the leads. 2 is the product. Like I said, I learned a lot from Lincoln, but there's 2 different products. Either your final expense or your modified. And most of the time, a lot of people are modified, and that was it. With Senior Life, there's so many other options, You don't have to be on a 2-year waiting period. You can still be first day coverage. You can be incarcerated and still get coverage. You could have cancer or in a nursing home and you can still get covered. There's no discrimination there from anyone. And that when you believe in a product like that, you can sell it because you believe in it. It starts first believing in the product. If you don't think you'll ever drive a Benz, how can you sell it? You don't believe you'll ever drive it. How can you sell a Benz? How can you be a salesman or a saleswoman and sell a car that you don't think you'll ever have?
Yeah, I think so. I've sold. I used to work at a buy here, pay here, and we were selling junk cars. And I did it maybe 4 or 5 months, and I couldn't do it. Like I wasn't selling a product that I would want or use. And then I realized, like, if you're a salesperson, if like that's your job, like I'm a salesperson, I'm going to sell something. There's no reason why you're not selling a superior product.
Exactly.
Right? Why would you sell a why wouldn't you be selling a superior product, right? You're a salesperson, just go to where the product is. But the thing I like you said the most, and I think this is where salespeople really make the mistake, and it's sales, whether it's real estate, cars, it doesn't matter what you're selling, is the leads, right? And leads are the demand. Mm-hmm. I used to do disaster work because just like Hurricane Ian just came in and wiped out, Florida, like there's a ton of work there, right? So if I'm a roofer, like that's where I want to be, right? Because there's more work than I'll ever be able to handle, right? Or all the vegetation debris all around, like there's companies that get rid of vegetation debris. Like these people are coming in from all these different states now because they know there's a ton of work that needs to be done and the local community can't handle it. So that's a good place to be if you're a business owner. Now, if you want to be a salesperson, right, how do you duplicate that? It's a lead program.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right? So like, when I looked at Senior Life, it's like, all right, cool. What's your lead program? Do you have more people hitting your advertisements than your current sales staff can handle? Yes. Okay. How many more? And can you keep cranking that up? Yes and yes. Okay. I'm a salesperson. This is the position I need to be in, right? So the biggest difference for you is the leads, right? You're a salesperson selling a product, but like you didn't have the demand that made it so you're super busy. And so many people, like I hear people, oh, I'm going to get my real estate license. Okay. Who are you going to sell a house to? Like, because for me, I wasn't even so much looking for insurance. I was looking for a problem that needed to be solved.
Right.
Right. Which is more people hitting our advertisements than could handle. And I always put, post out, right? More leads than agents. Right. So I love it. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's where people make a mistake. People will be like, oh, I want to sell mortgage protection. All right, cool. Why? Well, I don't know. I think it's cool. Okay. Do you have a lead source for it? No. Okay. Pick a different product, right? Pick a product that you have a surplus of leads for. Yes. If you want to be successful, right? If you're just like, I'm so passionate about mortgage protection. Right. I'm so passionate about it that I just want to sell it so bad. Well, then, okay, but it's going to be harder to be successful. Yes. So you nailed it.
Yeah, it's definitely, and they're great quality leads, They are great quality leads. I mean, I've never had a problem. And that was one thing before I moved on to Senior Life. I was worried about the leads and then worried about idle time, But I have so many, it's so many, and only been here, 4.5 months. But it's so many leads, so many people. These people want insurance.
Right.
It's not like people are saying, oh, I don't remember. True, you may get a few here and there, but you have people that are ready to listen to you. You don't have to just twist their arm and say, listen to me, listen to what I have to say. No, it's so great. It really, truly is. I'm very humble. I'm extremely humble. I'm always thanking God for what, because he brought you into, not literally just you came into my life, but there was someone that was there that introduced me to you. So I thank him for it. But most people, they want to know, well, how much money are you making? Because that's something that brought me to the insurance company. And I will say last month, I deposited in my account. It wasn't a little bit over here and a little bit over here. I deposited $30,000 in my account. That's amazing. And it's just like, I'm not special. I'm no different from anyone else. I'm probably a little bit worse, but if I can do it, why can't someone else? Why can't they do it? And it's not that hard. I mean, it's discipline. You have to have that discipline to get up, 5 days a week. Just do 5 days a week. We work 5 days a week anyway.
Right, it's normal, right?
This is
the rest
normal,
of the world's doing it.
We're conformed to working 5 days a week, so this should be easy for you. And I would do. Of course, you want to have those meetings, because it pumps me up. You listen to, some people may say the same thing over and over, but if you listen to it, it's just a little click that sounds a little different, like, light bulb, Just tell yourself, I'm going to commit 5 days a week for 6 hours. Just 6 hours. And imagine your life will, I know their lives will change because mine did, and it's just, I thank God for it. It's the belief. And it's also about what you're speaking to yourself. I always, every time I post a sale, I'll put hashtag self-confidence formula because that is what got me to, that's a huge part of what got me to where I am today. You have to eliminate hatred, jealousy, any type of envy, and the dominating thoughts of your mind will eventually reproduce. So if I'm telling myself every day, I'm broke, guess what, David? I'm going to be broke for the rest of my life. But if I tell myself I am successful, I am making over 6 figures, I'm starting off small, 6 figures a month or a year. That was my goal. If I keep telling myself that and believe in it, eventually, that is going to happen. And it's crazy. Like I said, this was just in February. I said that I'm going to make 6 figures in 12 months, but it just won't be with Lincoln. And next month I'll be making 6 figures.
Yeah, and we're in October, right?
It worked
Only in
out
October.
even better. So it's just, it's belief. It's definitely belief,
Do a little bit of math for you. 30,000 times 12 is $360,000. That's not bad for a bartender, right?
No, not at all.
Do you remember how much you made when you were bartending?
I was pulling maybe about 3,000 to 4,000 a month. 3,000 to 4,000.
So 3,000 a month, that's $36,000 for the year.
Yeah.
So you did almost that last month.
Right. And that is crazy how you put those numbers together because I felt like, man, I'm doing really good.
When you're a bartender, right?
Yeah.
You get the cash every day, right?
Get cash every
Touching
day.
the
But
cash.
when you add those numbers up, it's like, oh.
So what is it, obviously the money, right? It doesn't change who you are, but it changes, what's going on with your life, your lifestyle. Like, have you been feeling those changes? Have you been taking advantage of that? What are you doing with your money? The extra money that you have now?
You know what? That's a really great question. To be honest, I haven't figured out exactly what I want to do. Not gonna lie. I don't know exactly what I want to do. I do know that I don't want it to just sit there. I feel like this was a blessing for me. So I want to bless others. I want to help others. And of course, sometimes that's what it takes. It's money. And so I definitely want to find a plan, a strategy to, utilize that money, make it grow even more, even if it's just helping people. That is something that I want to do. I definitely feel like I could help other agents be successful. I can't help someone if I'm not being successful. And so I feel like I'm there. I'm not 100%, successful, but I have those tools. I have that ambition. I know which ways you need to go and what you need to say to a certain person. But I know for a fact I can help that person be successful. Someone who's at a dead-end job, not making, barely making ends meet, having just enough to pay their rent, their lights, the water, maybe their car insurance if they got it, some people didn't have it. I'm not going to lie. I probably didn't have it at the time. But there's so much more than life to just getting by, just making ends meet. Don't make ends meet. You can go far. Spread it, have money left over. Take your family on vacations. Go travel. Go and have I want a scholarship. I want Rachel Boatwright scholarship at every college that I can every college. I want to really truly help people. Because the money is great. But like you said, what are you doing with it?
The things you could do with it are definitely a lot better. I mean, you're obviously very passionate about helping people. Do you feel like that's what helps you become such a successful insurance agent?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, if I just had all this money and just, spent it on clothes and houses and cars, but did I really help someone? Because these people are helping me, but did I return that? Did I give that back to the community? Did I give that back to the world? No, I just bought a house. I just bought 3 cars that I don't need. So it helps, because when you're on the phone, with the prospects, customers, before they become clients, and you hear their story, and they're making ends meet, and they're still trying to get some insurance to make sure that they don't leave their family in a bind, it makes you be grateful for what you have. And so you have to try to give back to the community any way that you can. It doesn't have to be $1,000 here, just little by little, to grow and say, I'm helping. And that's what is driving me, knowing that I can be a service to others.
You're absolutely amazing. I'm definitely enjoying sitting down and getting to know you, hanging out with you last night. So, you talked about making 6 figures was your next goal, and you're on pace to absolutely crush that, right? In half the time. What are some other short-term goals that you have?
Short-term goals. Short term. Dang, I told you, I don't know. I think that my main focus was my mom. But short term,
Sounds like it was 100,000, and that's the goal.
yeah, because I was so focused on making 100,000 in 12 months, and now I'm gonna make 100,000 in 5.5 months. So I think that's one of my goals. I gotta do it. I'm so close. I'm about $15,000 away. So telling you, when I do it, I'm gonna be going crazy, because that is huge. It's a huge accomplishment. But however, it's trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. How am I gonna help? The money, like I said, the money is great, but when you're helping people, it's one of these movies. It's called Mahogany, and there's this man named Billy D. Williams. If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But he says success means nothing if you don't have anyone to share it with, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a significant other. It could be a friend, it could be a stranger, it could be a neighbor. And I feel like I could be successful making 100,000. I could probably be successful making 50,000, but it's who am I sharing that success with? And knowing that I can make this amount of money in a short period of time, I want to share it. I want aspiring agents to definitely hit me up and say howdy, because I'm authentic. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's the only way I know how to be. It's just to be completely honest, and just sharing that information, and not just so much to get them to make the money, but growing them. Helping them grow and empowering them to empower another individual.
That's the best part. That's what people don't realize, right? We do talk about the money a lot because it's the easiest way to get someone's attention. But if I really look at the blessings for me personally, it was watching the growth of all the people, going from insurance, I don't know, to get my license. And some people taking 8-9 months to get their license, right? Because they didn't believe they were going to do anything with it,
Right.
And then, getting started and still having the question to all of a sudden that light bulb pops and you see the sparkle in their eye, and they're just oh wow, my life's going to be different.
Right.
And you see the personal development start taking place, and you see their stance a little bit different, and the way they dress is a little bit different, and you see the way they treat themselves and the people around them, gets
Right.
better. So you sound a lot like me. So with like laser focus, like when I asked for your goal, like besides 100K, you're like, no, 100K was my goal, like one goal at a time, right? And that's how I am too. So when I have a goal, I'm just laser focused on that, like laser focused. And I could see you're the same exact way. And it's like, no, like, let me accomplish this goal. And don't worry, as soon as I do, we got a new one.
Get a new one.
But this is it. This is where we're going. I can't go anywhere else. I got to go here first.
Right.
Then once I get there, then we could talk other places. So I love that. I love how you're just like determined to like help everyone, and it obviously is why you're so successful. I say all the time, when your ability to help people increases, your income will increase with it.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
And the problem is everyone's trying to make money, and stop trying to make money and start learning how to help people and the money will come.
The money will come. It's so funny. August was my biggest month. It really was. But I felt like I was watching videos, I was doing role playings, I was helping so many people that I felt like I don't even have time to really get on the phone and sell right now. But like you said, it's watching them grow because you already have it in your mind. Like, hey, listen, I'm going to grow. No matter what I do, I'm going to grow. I'm going to be successful. But if I can help this person be successful, this will be icing on the cake. And I was trying my best to do that. And I think I did. I'm sure if I only inspired one person, that's good enough for me. But seeing what they were doing in August and what they have done in September, I'm like, you go, girl. You go, girl. You are on your way. And it just, I don't know. It's just like that. It just brings so much fire and passion. When you see struggling agents that just been struggling, just like, I don't know what's going on. And it's not like this huge, big celebration. It's not like this huge seminar. It's that one little piece of information that could change your entire life. And when I see them growing like that and changing, I just feel like I feel accomplished. I didn't necessarily did it. They did it. But I feel like, man, I'm glad I at least mentioned something to them, because you don't want to have 30 people and you only talk to 5 people and then all 30 are growing and you're just like, I should have talked to that person, So I think that's what makes life so much better. Is knowing that you are helping people.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
There's a feeling of joy that you get, right? That lasts a lot longer helping people as opposed to, I buy some nice cars and buy some nice things. And it's, it's a short term, like, oh, that's cool. But, the helping people is definitely what fulfills me. So I know that you're hiring and recruiting agents nationwide. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. I have a website, Rachel Boatwright, RachelBoatwright.com. You can look on my website, get some information, contact me through there. I'm also on Facebook, Rachel Boatwright, as well. I would love to, definitely tell me what's your problem. That's with insurances. People have a problem. I am the solutionist. I want to help you solve that problem. I'm hiring. I'm excited about it. It's a great organization. It's amazing. It really, truly is amazing. Everyone is here to help you. Everyone. And that's the beauty of working, when you know that everyone can come together. It's not just this side or that side, and you got to fend for yourself. Like, no, we're all in this together. When you're happy, I'm happy. When you're succeeding, I'm succeeding. And you can't go wrong with that.
That's the thing I'm the most proud of, is the culture we have at the Price Group, where like every team is willing to help, right? We have multiple agencies on all different sizes, but like we're all one team when it comes to when someone needs help. It's not like, oh, that's not on my team, I'm not helping them. We're all willing to help. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. So, well, I really appreciate you coming down, right? Was it a 12-hour drive?
It was 11 or 10-hour drive, and it was long. It was really long. But getting here, and I'm just like, this is amazing.
Well,
This is amazing.
I'm glad you came down. It was definitely great meeting you again.
And I personally want to say thank you to you. I know you always ask us questions and you're excited, but I definitely want to say thank you for this opportunity. I mean, looking at the Price Group and what it is and what its mission is and the people, I don't even want to say they're behind you. They're beside you now, and how they act. It shows what type of character you have. And that's something that's hard to find. When you have a strong leader like you and your mindset and your drive, and when your agents, are following right behind you and they're the same, they're like an image of you, that is what makes Powerhouse what it is. That's what makes any other agent that's a part of you become successful.
You're gonna make me cry.
Huh?
You're gonna make me
I know,
cry.
but I mean it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I mean it, because if it wasn't for you, I don't know where we would be.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So I thank you.
Thank
really
you.
do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're gonna get me tearing up, but I appreciate people taking advantage. I mean, that's the thing. It's, there's such a great opportunity, and it's just, how do you find more people and then let them see the light and really take advantage of it. So thank you for taking advantage of it and doing what it takes to change your life and then have the ability to help so many other people. So I really appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, if you've seen something you like, please hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, hit the little bell so that you get a notification every time I make a video. If you want to talk to Rachel or have any questions, reach out to her or put something in the comments. We'll make sure we get it to you. And there's another video that you need to see or you need some training, put that stuff in the comments too, and we're willing to help you. That's been another amazing episode of Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things with David Price.